TV from RideADV Tech Tip Workshop week number 4. I'm going to stick with it 700 at the moment, and we'll be doing other stuff in other weeks, but I'll stick with 700 at the moment. A couple of things I want to talk about this week, just staying with my bike. Let's talk about steering dampers. I'm going to come and zoom in here, Rooster. So, this is a Rally Moto under bar mount steering damper. It has zero return, so that is when the wheel's returning, the handlebars are returning to the center position where it is now. There's no force on the way back, but if it goes over center and starts to turn, then the force comes in, and you control the amount of force with that. Now, steering dampers aren't a magical bullet, not you know. The first one I ever got, I was expecting all sort of lights and bells and whistles and the earth to move and etc. But it doesn't do that, and it took me a little while to learn all about steering dampers and get rid of these myths that are around here. Blokes come and, I come with a sand and crank the steering damper up. Well, that'd be the worst thing you want to do, making the bike tight and rigid, not want to be flexible and turn. I couldn't think of anything worse. I went out to Fink in 2008 with GHR, and those boys were stiffening the dampers up, but they weren't in the sand. They were going across the top of the sand. So when you're in the sand, it needs to wiggle. The bike needs to be able to move and bend. I quite often back my damper off when I get in the sand. In the Simo, I back it right off too. So just food for thought. The steering damper just takes out that high-speed oscillation. So for me, a steering damper might save my ass once, twice a month maybe. I reckon it's that end of the day, you're not concentrating, you hit the tree root, you hit something, and instead of bars deflecting like that, it doesn't deflect that fast. If I was to lift this bike up and I was to move the bars side to side, you wouldn't probably even, you'd barely feel the steering damper. But if I went out to the tip of the wheel and I kicked the tip of the wheel to tip it sideways, it wouldn't do it. It's that high-speed deflection that's taking away from. So that's steering dampers. That's a Rally Moto, an RM3. It's made by MSC Steering Dampers at Central Mangrove Mountain in New South Wales. I've used them before. They used my first bike to make a kit up. They've been a great thing. Just ask Joe Morgan. You tighten the nut, they're a good thing. They're fine. The other thing I want to talk about briefly over here is on all of our bikes we put these twin USB ports, and it's got a voltmeter in the middle of it. The voltmeter, yeah, not really 100% necessary, but they're 2.2 amps, and I don't know, it gives you something to watch, see if it's charging, make sure it's 13.8 or 14.1 volts most of the time. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. I guess another thing I get asked a lot about is what I call my Greg pegs. They're just a set of skateboard wheels I turn down. I find the bike very narrow at this part here and hard to grip. So with the pegs, the steg pegs, the Greg pegs, shouldn't call them steg pegs. Yeah, it's fine. I have steg pegs, but they don't make them. So what do they say? Something is the mother of invention or something. Necessity. I don't know. Whatever. But anyway, they're there. So they're a good thing. And I got GMK to put like a sandpapery grip stuff tape on here. And this just give me a bit extra purchase. I was going to talk about this, but I won't because we're going to run out of time. I'm going to show you the seat modification. So, those you may have seen earlier in the piece, we got we put a bit of hose under the seat. So, Rally Raid have some things with some pins. We drilled our early bolts out and just put clips in them, but you get the clips, you can lose them and stuff like that. Troy Matson in Victoria came up with the idea of putting a piece of hose in on top, and I'll find the video and show if anyone wants. And that way it became a key only. So this part popped out, but I actually got on the T7 Rally side or whatever it is, and I bought the one-piece seat kit. So because I'm not tall enough for a rally seat, this sort of covers up and does what I need to do. It's just a one-piece seat. So anyway, in promising to keep things short, that's what I'm going to do. There's some questions on the other one. More than happy to answer anything. That tyre's 500 Ks, 700 Ks old, so it's going all right. Yeah, that's the way it is. If you've ordered racks, they're on their way in the morning. Thank you.